If you hate getting on sales calls, you need to watch this video. I can't believe I said that. What a dope. Hey, I'm Megan. For more tips for landing clients for your business, be sure to click on subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I upload new content every Thursday. I talk about cold emailing a lot, and I will drop a few links to previous videos in the description. And it's because it's been my #1 source of client acquisition for years now. In fact, because of cold emailing, I've been able to scale my agency to 5 figures a month in revenue. But it's not just about the email itself. You're going to have a hard time ultimately landing clients if you skip this one vital step of the process, and that is getting the lead on a sales call. But a lot of people hate getting on the phone, so then what do you do? I've got a handful of tips for how you can overcome sales call reluctance, so let's dive right in. Tip number 1, you control the call. From the moment you pick up the phone, you need to be steering this conversation. You start by telling them what your intentions for the call are. Literally, you can say something like, my intentions for this call are to X, Y, and Z. Tell them what to expect. This helps to set the tone, set the standard from the word go. If you ever start to get the impression that they are interviewing you, you need to stop, pause, take a breath, and get back in control. You're not applying for a job, you're not a hopeful employee, you are a business owner. You do not get interviewed. So you know you need to define your expectations for the call, but what are they exactly? That brings us to tip number 2, gather information about the lead. We're not getting on a sales call just for funsies. There's a reason we're doing that, and it's to get more information so that we can determine if we can help this lead, and if so, how. Yeah, you're not going to be able to help every person you speak with. And if you start to get that impression throughout the call that you can't really help them, you need to say so. Don't move forward and try to take them on as a client. You need to know things like, what are their goals, their pain points? What have they tried so far? Did those things work? Right now in the comments, I want you to drop one question that you know you could ask your leads on the phone, something that will give you valuable information that you need. Go leave me a comment below. Tip number 3 is propose a solution. And no, I'm not telling you to spill all of your secrets on the phone. Your lead has a problem, and they're considering paying you for a solution. So after they tell you more about themselves, you need to tell them, in very general terms, what you believe that solution is. For instance, because I'm a writer, if I've got a lead on the phone who's telling me that they want more traffic to their blog and better keyword rankings in Google, which is very often the case, I make a point of telling them that I always start my blogs with keyword research and topic research. All of my content is high quality and optimized for the search engine. These are things I do to help bring them more traffic and help them rank better in Google. They told me the problem, I presented a solution. You don't need to go into a ton of detail, and in fact, you shouldn't. You need time to take the information that they told you and go hammer out a real strategy. And that brings us to tip number 4, which is end by promising a full proposal. The lead is going to want to know more about what you can offer, understandably. So toward the end of the call, you can say something like, thanks again for all of this information. I'm going to take it now and go back and build out a full proposal for you, where I will outline all of the services I can provide along with my rates. If the sales call is early enough in the day and you're confident you can deliver, then you can commit to having that proposal over by the end of the day. If not, tell them you will have it to them by the end of the following day. You don't want to wait much longer than that because you really want to strike while the iron is hot. And if you wait too long, the excitement dies down and they start to forget about you. The proposal is where you get a little more specific. It should still be really concise, and you don't want to outline every single thing you're going to do, because remember, you don't want to bog them down in details or overwhelm them. You just want to give them enough to understand how you can address their problem. You need to make them feel confident that you can help them get from where they are to where they want to be. And at the end of the proposal, you put a number on it. I've said it before in previous videos, and I will say it again, do not give your exact rate over the phone. You need time to go someplace quiet with no distractions, really digest all of the information that they gave you, and come up with a number that makes sense for you and them. You can't do that like that on the phone. Too much pressure. At the very most, if they're really pushing you and they really want some number, you can tell them what your rates start at, and then explain that the number can go up from there based on a number of factors. But don't commit to a rate on the sales call. I messed this up so many times. earlier on in my career, and I look back at those moments now and I kick myself. One of my very first clients, in fact, I think I might have been my first client, I got on the phone with him, and in this case, he wanted social media services. And I had told him on the phone, yeah, sure, I'll get you a proposal, but my rates start at $1,000 a month. And he was like, ooh, man, that's a little steep. My max is 200, can you do it for that? And I panicked and I was just like, sure! I can't believe I said that. What a dope. I worked for so little money. It's sad. Anyhow, live and learn. That's why we don't give rates over the phone. If you found this video helpful, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video.